So Joe, it's been another year of games, and we're not going to end it with negativity. We're not going to talk about any of the stupid things that we've been talking about for the last couple months. But I will say one thing though. I'm happy to see that Kojima is finally free. So
yeah, man.
Yeah. We're ending the year on a positive note. Yeah.
I like the logo. I like the new logo.
Yeah, it's like a skull and a helmet. It took a while for me to recognize what the hell it was. It was just like, is this a reference or no? It's just a skull and a helmet. That's cool.
Yeah, but we're all excited for Kojima's new game, so that's going to be awesome.
I'm really hoping. I don't want to pigeonhole him, but I really hope he does something with Del Toro and it becomes like a Silent Hill's predecessor or whatever.
I saw some people legit saying, "Oh, why didn't Sony get him on the Siphon Filter franchise?" I'm like, "What?" I mean, we all love Siphon Filter back in the day, but
let's put him on a genre that he's been doing and wanting to not do for a while.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see military type stuff or we're good.
I want him to do something that he wants to do. That's not Metal Gear if he wants to,
I'm excited.
Anyway, speaking of Metal Gear, that was one of the 2015 releases this year. And we're just gonna, talk about the games, the years of the game, the games of the year. There we go.
Yeah. We're not really gonna do a full-on list of awards or anything like that. But we'll probably do some of our games of the year and talk about what games we've enjoyed and stuff. And I guess Metal Gear Solid 5 is a good one. I played a lot of that on the PC. It was awesome, man. Really great game. I really enjoyed it. It would definitely be on my year of best games this year for sure.
Well, what would you say, like, if someone asked you, what would your game of the year be?
Oh, yeah, it's a tough one. It's hard for me because I'm a PC. I play PC games. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of games that have been released that I've not played, which I want to play, and I just haven't got around to it. And I don't own the consoles to play them. Yeah. So it's really tough for me to say what the game of the year is. But I will say Metal Gear is probably one of the best games I've played. It's probably the game I put the most time into this year. Put it that way. I'm very reluctant to say what my game of the year is, but great game.
So you at least say that Metal Gear is like up there in terms of 2015 releases.
It was a great game. It was a great game, but I was disappointed in the unfinished nature of the game and the way the story was handled in it. It wasn't the best, but in terms of gameplay and just like the overall experience, it was really, really enjoyable. Really good game. If you can kind of look past, because the thing is, if you're a really die-hard Metal Gear Solid fan, which I have been for a long, long time, and you're one of those who play it for the narrative, it's not really going to be a game that stands out in that regard to you. I feel like if you're a new player and you've not played any of the Metal Gear games, you're probably going to play Metal Gear 5 and think it's amazing. And it is. It's great. But the story was definitely lacking. But, in terms of the gameplay, it was great, and it would be one of my games of the year for sure. Not the game of the year maybe, but one of them.
Well, that's interesting you say that, as someone who doesn't play Metal Gear would probably find it amazing, because I've actually heard some things from people who have never played Metal Gear, but decided to, get into the hype train of Metal Gear 5. Okay. And I remember them saying things like they didn't really understand it, because Kojima does what Kojima gonna do, and not everyone, understands what Kojima's going for, but apparently there are some people who are taken aback by, like, the way that the story was handled. I couldn't really enjoy it because of that. I don't know. That was just another perspective.
Yeah. That's 100% the same impression I get from people. And I would agree. The story was just poorly told. It was, it's like, I don't think there's any such thing as like a lack of story. It's just the way the story was told, Right. So it could have been done a lot better. But In terms
I think
of
at
the
this point,
gameplay-
it's no secret that the way that the story was told was mostly through audio logs, right? It wasn't like
Oh yeah.
it wasn't like a cutscene frenzy like Metal Gear Solid 4 was.
Yeah,
right?
but even a narrative, yeah, exactly. But even a narrative they had running through it. I mean, they kind of did the same thing for Peace Walk. You know, that was all cassette tapes. Like,
Yeah.
the fucking story was the cassette tapes. So I did kind of expect it from this game as well, and you did get that. But even it was just even the way some of the characters were displayed and stuff, and just it was a bit of a miss in that regard. And it's a shame. The most disappointing thing about it was the unfinished nature of it. That is point blank the problem with the game, is the abrupt ending, the non-chapter 2, because the game is broken down into chapters, but it's, unless you play it, you won't really understand, but it really starts to fall apart near the end, and you really do start to get the impression that something's not right here.
Yeah,
but
apparently that was probably one of the disputes between Konami and Kojima, right? It was the ending or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like something happened there. Did they run out of money? Did they not want to put more money into it?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a chapter that wasn't even on the disc, but it got through onto the special edition DVD to watch. So you could watch the unfinished the unfinished level, or like the chapter, whatever you want. Well, not the chapter, but the unfinished episode,
right,
on the DVD in storyboard form. Yeah,
interesting.
So, very odd choices made. Who's to blame? We might never understand why, but but it was a great game. It was really good to play, really enjoyable game. But yeah, what about you? Is any game sticking out in your mind from earlier this year that maybe?
Well, if it counts, there was a piece of DLC that really made my year, and that was The Binding of Isaac, the Afterbirth expansion. It's pretty amazing. As usual, they've added a ton of new content. And there was like the new greed mode, which I started a series on, which was really great. And it was just more Isaac, which I really love because I love the original game. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Fallout 4, I know a lot of people would probably say, Fallout 4 is their game of the year. I'm still really, really enjoying Fallout 4, but obviously...
let's talk about it a little bit, because this is a game was on my radar for a long time. I just haven't bought it because I've got such a big backlog. I couldn't justify buying it off on release. I would never have managed to play through all of it. But it's a game I loved Fallout 3. One of my favorite gaming experiences ever. I really enjoyed it. So tell me about this one.
So Fallout 4 does a lot of things right, I think. The map is technically smaller, but it's much more condensed. There's a lot less just barren nothingness. And I think that a lot of the flavor that they add to the world is really good. If you take the time to read the computers and everything, you get some really cool stories and backstories of things that aren't told through the actual game, but are just there for you to sort of absorb. So there's a lot of good attention to detail. Surprisingly, I haven't run into many bugs, a lot of the bugs that people are apparently dealing with.
All right.
So my playthrough has been pretty smooth so far. But I will say the one thing, and I agree with everyone who has criticized it, the one thing I really don't like is the fact that they added a voiced player. Because the voiced player really takes away from the roleplay element of Fallout. So you can't... The biggest problem is you can't tell your own story. You can't be your own person. You have to be an extension of this character.
Is this the first time Bethesda have done a voice character? Because I don't remember one it wasn't like that in Skyrim or anything, right?
Yeah, this is the first time they're doing full voice acting for the dialogue system.
Wow. Yeah.
And you can tell the restrictions this puts, because you can't play a complete evil person. You can only play an a-hole.
One of the criticisms I've seen is people saying that the dialogue choices just aren't as broad or aren't as good, or I don't know if there's any. I guess it's maybe to do with that. So the way it breaks it down pretty much is you have a message that you're gonna put across no matter what you say. Right. So it's tell me more about this, and then that'll just be another
option to the same exact result. You know, you might get an extra piece of dialogue that responds to the way that you spoke, but the end outcome is still the same. So, you know, if you're like, stick it up, you know, where the sun don't shine, someone's not going to necessarily be offended to the point where, like, they'll react, you know, in a way that you would expect a character to react. And it's all because of this voice acting, you know. And the other problem is that the vanilla gameplay, they only give you like 1 or 2 words. So it's the same problem I have with like Mass Effect or Dragon Age, where you don't necessarily know what you're saying. You just have these slight titled options, and you have to just think about, or you just have to assume what you're gonna say, because the tone could be completely different from what you assume it's gonna be. So
it used to be like that. Yeah, it definitely used to be like that in Mass Effect.
Yeah, so it does suffer from some problems from RPG standpoint, but they really stepped it up as a gameplay. Like, the shooting in this is so good. It's so much better than like Fallout 3, because it's based on skill. Unless you go into the VAT system, then it becomes based on, you know, numbers. But you can play this game without using VATS at all, and it still plays so good. Like, sniping, aiming, everything, it's so good. And it is a whole lot of fun. I'm still playing it, you know. I enjoy exploring. I'm honestly really excited to wrap up my initial playthrough, because I want to do more fun playthroughs of like just ridiculous builds, or you know, doing stupid things. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. There are some negative side effects of some of the additions that they made, but it's overall still pretty cool. The base building is also pretty nice. It doesn't necessarily hamper the gameplay in any way. You know, it's really just an add-on, but it's a welcomed add-on. I enjoy playing with it once in a while. So
it sounds like you're a Fallout fan. You'll enjoy it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's an extension. It's an evolution of Fallout 3. I don't know. I know that a lot of people seem to have some weird expectations about Bethesda games. Like, I think that because people thought, like, oh, this is the next installment of the Fallout series. It should be like, it should be reinventing the wheel. But Bethesda's games are always incremental. No matter if it's Fallout or it's Elder Scrolls. If you look at it, if you look at the way that they release games, it's incremental changes. You know, they build off of the previous title, and sometimes they take out things that are great, you know, but a lot of times they add a lot of things that I really enjoy, and it's pretty cool.
One of the games I do want to mention, if we're talking about DLCs, is the Talos Principle Road to Gehenna DLC. That was released this year. I would put a Talos Principle in it, but it kind of got released at the end of November in 2014, so it kind of missed all of the Game of Year awards last year and can't really be on them this year. even though it did get released for the PS4, so you could technically sway it that way. But man, it's an awesome game. I really enjoyed playing the DLC. It was great. Any more of that game, I was just down for, and I was not disappointed. Really awesome experience. One of the most memorable games I've played. Again, Talos Principle has become one of my favorite games of all time. And it was really cool to play the DLC. I was really pleased with it. Just a great game. And I'm glad it's out on PS4 now. So that's awesome. So if you've got a PS4, you can go and play Talos Principle. That'd be cool. In the box version. So yeah, that was good. And another game I want to mention that came out this year is Cities Skylines.
Yes, the SimCity of SimCities.
That was
the
a great
actual
game.
real SimCity.
Really good. That was a great game. That would probably make my 2015 Game of the Year list. And the devs done a really good job of like keeping support going for that. They did release the After Dark kind of downloadable content and stuff as well. But yeah, if you just want to, if you really like those types of games, then that's definitely a game that really stood out this year. It kind of brought those kind of games back on the map a little bit. You know, there's a lot of hype around it at the time. It kind of came out of nowhere, but there was a lot of hype around it once it got released, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
well,
really
I think
good game.
people were definitely looking forward towards it because SimCity was such a burn, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
SimCity was such a disappointment that really you could only go up from there.
Yeah, exactly, man. But that was a good game. And I'm sure there's many more that I'm completely not thinking of right now that I've played. But
I'll tell you one surprise title for me this year. That was Honey Pop.
No, what?
Honey Pop was it was a crazy, just okay. Here's the thing, okay. Honey Pop doesn't do anything new,
Right.
and I know that everyone is going to assume that it's just there for the anime boobies. And
Yeah,
yes, it does have anime boobies, but it's a
Right.
very, very solid game. Like, if you can look past everything perverted about it, it's a solid match 3 game, mixed with, you know, I tried to go earlier this year. I tried to go for the harder achievements in that game, and you really have to sort of look at the game at from a strategic point of view. Like, you can't just go into it and clicking. Yeah, you have to map out how you're going to meet every girl, because there are certain events that happen at certain times, and it takes X amount of time to, you know, fulfill the entire scenario.
So can you have sex in this game? Or?
Well, yeah, but it's done through a match 3 game. That's pretty much how it works.
So do you see it, or is it like?
Well, it's not animated. It's just like you match.
Okay.
So the way it works is the dates are broken down into match 3 games, where you have to make enough matches in X amount of moves. So, you know, you have to build up a score in X amount of moves. When you do that enough and you get to the quote unquote sex, it turns into a timed based thing where you have to make as many matches in an X amount of time. And if you fail, you fail. But the thing is that it's really difficult. It's not easy. And on the harder difficulties, it's really not easy at all, and it's unforgiving. So you stack up having to be really good at match 3 games on top of the fact that you have to manage how you interact with every character, and it becomes a pretty solid game. And yeah, it's unfortunate that that game is obviously going to get overlooked because it's, you know, it's anime visual novel bullcrap, but it's a real nice parody of the genre that it's in, and it's a very solid match 3 game on it. So I gotta say that Honey Pop, I was expecting a really, really terrible game, but it turned out to be a really solid game, and I actually do recommend, if you can look past the anime boobies, that you'll find a pretty solid game there. So amazingly, I can recommend that game.
There it is. I started playing Life is Strange. I'm not finished it, so I don't really want to say it's one of the best games of 2015, or it's on my list at least. But yeah, man, that's a really good game. It's a very different kind of game that I've been enjoying. Definitely gets a nod just because it was released this year. But yeah, man, it's pretty good at what it does. I'm quite enjoying it. I'm not too far into it, so I can't really like talk too much about it. I mean, I think there's like 5 episodes in total, so yeah. But yeah, Life is Strange seems really good. So I'm really looking forward to playing more of that at some point. But most of my games are kind of games that like in my backlog that like came out like years and years ago, you know. So
yeah, same here. Like I'm still trudging through that ever-growing backlog.
Yeah, there's so many. There's just so many games. But is there any other games you want to mention quick, or?
I will say that I just recently, in the Steam sale, I purchased Undertale. I'm excited to get that underway.
That's been getting a lot of gaming.
Yeah, I was honestly gonna wait for it. I remember seeing it. I was like thinking, you know, it looks just like any other retro throwback game. But then I started hearing about so much of the positive press that I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and see what this is all about. It's yeah, I'm really anticipating checking that out. In fact, it's a nice transition if unless you have anything else you wanted to mention.
I was just going to quickly mention Ori and the Blind Forest. I won't mind playing that at some point. That's got a few nods this year. It is available, but I will play that at some point. But yeah, I think that's it for games off the top of my head. We might throw in a few more as this goes on. But yeah, what did you want to transition into? I
was just going to transition into, pretty much channel stuff. Yeah, I think I definitely want to approach Undertale for the channel. And I'm probably going to do that in a different way. Like, you know, I don't usually do like full-on play from start to finish on the channel. And I think Undertale might be one of those that I try out on the channel. So
that might be interesting, because from what I understand about that game, there's a lot of like, you know, choices you can make, and maybe people will be interested in seeing the choices you make personally. It's kind of like how Life is Strange as well. You don't know this, guys, but I've actually recorded Life is Strange.
Yep.
I've like been playing, like when I've been playing it, I've like done all the episode 1, you know, I'm doing more now, and I'm recording as I'm going, and if I'm going to release it, I'll throw it up as like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode, like each chapter
in its entirety.
So it's going to be like either, you know, probably 2 or 3 hours long each.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone's actually going to be interested in seeing that, but maybe you might see it get thrown up on some weekday. But you know, just let me know if you're interested. But even if you don't, I might throw episode 1 up one day when I've not got much else on and see what happens with it. Because it's kind of those games with multiple choice. You know, I feel like people might be interested to see them, but it's a big commitment when they're like 2 or 3 hours each. So
yeah, in terms of things that I think I want to try on the channel much more in the future, that is definitely like I want to try and approach how we do games differently. You know, like recently we just released the first episode of our slasher session,
right.
And the interesting thing about this is we've sort of touched upon it in previous videos with multiple views, but this has been the first time where both of us have recorded, and this is the session from both our perspectives intercut within each other. And it's pretty exciting. It was a learning experience, but you know, I'm hoping that, I mean, obviously we're recording this a little early, so we don't have any stats on it yet, but I'm really excited to see how people react to that, because
it's really good.
It's nice to start doing new things, and you know, it might be a nice way to evolve what we do on the channel. So I'm pretty excited to, you know, what's crazy is I feel like since starting Tengu Drop, like there are so many games that we get to play now, you know, as opposed, like I play so many more things than I would have just being a normal, you know, just
I do too,
gamer. So it's crazy to think that, like, you know, how can we now put this into the channel, you know? It's an exciting thought process. And
there's so much. I play so many games. Even like I play a lot of prototypes that aren't even games, just you know, because they look like they'd be fun to play. And I play so much more, like so much. It's crazy how much I play. But in the same vein as that, I kind of feel like maybe I play a lot of stuff that I don't have time to really sit down and play through my backlog, like, and go through like games that I want to go through, because I'm just too busy recording like other random stuff. So it can kind of go both ways.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I had less games and I had more time to play them, you know?
No. Oh, poor Joe has too many video games to play.
That does sound like a first world problem, that does. But
But I think 2015 in general has been a pretty crazy year for the channel. Like, it's obviously continuing to grow, and it's nice that people are coming along for the ride with us, you know. I've really enjoyed talking and, you know, responding to all the comments we've been getting this year from some fantastic commenters. You guys are like blowing my mind with like how much you guys want to like interact with us. It's a very weird transition, you know, into having to record and then seeing how people react to it. So it's been fun. And
it's been fun. I think as well as channel stuff, there's also like 2015's been a big year in general, man. I'm not finishing this video without talking about the announcement of Shenmue 3. I'm sorry. I'm not, man. 2015 Shenmue 3 was finally announced. That was awesome.
Psychonauts 2.
And Psychonauts 2, exactly. You know, there's been a lot of stuff this year and gaming-wise. It's been a big year. One of the best years I can remember, to be honest, in terms of like announcements and just things that's like happening. It's a really exciting time to be playing games. But 2015 Shenmue 3 announcement will always be stuck in my memory for a long, long time. And this year will definitely go down as one of the best years ever for games, just for that reason. It kind of just reminds you why you play games and kind of have it as a hobby and just kind of follow the industry a little bit. It's just things like that, man. Just those kind of announcements. It's just such a good feeling.
So let's wrap this up. What are you looking forward to in 2016?
Oh, I want to play my backlog. I want to play I want to play all the stuff that came out in previous years in 2016. But there are some games, you know. We've got Dark Souls 3 coming out in 2016. Dude, the new Deus Ex. I'm looking forward to that. Deus Ex is one of my favorite series. I'm looking forward to getting a PS4 and an Xbox One. I just haven't got room for them now. That's the only reason I haven't got one. There's just no room where I live to put them in here. So that's the only reason. But yeah, I would like to play Bloodborne and games like that. And I think 2016 is going to be a big year. I can't say Shenmue 3 because that's not even coming out till probably 2018. It's marked as like December 2017, so we all know that's going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of games coming out. All the games that escape me right now. There's also the rare game, Sea of Thieves. When is that out? That looks like it's going to be pretty interesting.
But yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn was announced. That looks awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Resident Evil 2 remake. That's interesting. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to a lot of what's coming out on PlayStation in 2016. Unfortunately, yeah. I don't know if when I'll be able to ever afford one, but I think
you can't afford one. I can't fit one in here. That's how it is.
I think in terms of at least PC games, I'm looking forward to Street Fighter, Tekken.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely Dark Souls 3. Maybe I don't even know if I don't think it's coming to PC, but I'm definitely looking forward to Final Fantasy 15, and the Final Fantasy 7 remake. So those are definitely on my list as well as like Horizon and so many good things.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That I can't afford.
Yeah, and nobody can afford, but he can't afford them. I can't fit him. I feel like I should buy you the stuff so you could like. we could get it out that way maybe, but yeah, a lot of good stuff coming up. Should be a really good year. I'm looking forward to it as always, and yeah, I'm sure there's many other games I'm forgetting about, like completely just forgetting about right now.
Yeah, definitely. I always come back to these and being like, oh yeah, I should have mentioned that game.
Yeah, I know I'm missing my favorite game ever, which is coming out next year. I've been looking forward to, but yeah, I guess. I'm looking forward to the new Tomb Raider on PC.
It does look good. It looks good on the Xbox One. Like, I'm surprised they got like that much visual power out of it.
Right. Yeah, it does look good. Yeah, there's so much more. So much. Oh, the new Nintendo console will probably be announced, so we've got that to look forward to.
Yeah. I've heard so many random rumors about what it could entail. Like, apparently, like it might be one of the most powerful consoles. It might use the Android software. I don't know.
Right.
I just want to see it. I just want to see what it's capable of. Most importantly, I want to see Nintendo finally get back third-party support. Yeah. So I feel like so much of Nintendo so far has just been reliant on the first party. And, you know, don't get me wrong, they've been doing really well with it, but it's just, you know, clearly they're hurting for third-party stuff. So
yeah, I'm excited for the new console. I think there's going to be a big push for that kind of stuff. I also want to mention quick Titanfall 2 I'm looking forward to. It should be announced. It should be coming next year. I don't know if it's going to come next year, but it should be announced next year, maybe with a late 2016 release. I'm excited, man. I fucking love Titanfall. I
hope for games like Titanfall, I hope that by the time they release, the industry has figured out how they're going to handle multiplayer only games. Because so far it's been kind of a crapshoot. Like Evolve, Titanfall, what else has just come out recently? Battlefront. Yeah, it's so the industry got to get themselves figured out.
Yeah, but, definitely. Yeah. But I am looking forward to it. I'm excited. Titanfall is the best shooter in recent years. Because I bought Black Ops 3 this year. I've not mentioned it because it's kind of one of the games I just regret buying, to be honest with you. I kind of like. Don't get me wrong, hey, the multiplayer is good. That's what I play it for. I enjoy the multiplayer. But I feel like I could have fired up Titanfall, like a game that's like, you know, a lot older, and kind of got that feeling back just from playing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That competitive first-person itch. I could have just fired up Titanfall and had a better experience. But it is a good game. You know, it was something new for a while. But I've not played it in months. I've kind of just stopped playing it. I just nothing there to interest me. But you know, maybe I'll come back to it. But yeah.
I'm actually interested. I think if any company can get it right, it's probably going to be Blizzard with Overwatch. So I'm really interested to see how Overwatch does when it's officially out, because apparently it's a really, really good game. So I'll be interested to see how they handle, because I think Overwatch is going to be multiplayer only. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see just where this new sort of subgenre, I guess, I don't even know what you call it,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
goes in 2016.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that'll about wrap us up
Yeah,
for
we'll wrap it there.
end of the year show. I did want to give a shout out to everyone who has given us suggestions for games. I played a couple of them this year, and they have been fantastic. So definitely keep suggesting us games, and we'll definitely try to check them out. As always, we'll still obviously try to get on the new releases as best we can.
Yeah.
But just want to give a huge shout out to everyone who has supported the channel over the year. You guys are always awesome.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Can't thank you guys enough. And here's to another year of fantastic gaming. Hopefully, let's have some happy stories.
Yeah,
throughout the
maybe
year.
maybe I'll try VR for the first time. Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Let's channel our inner Bob Rosses and give the world some happy little games. Damn it. Anyway, thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yep, see you later, guys.